Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Rob Placone.
Howdy, howdy, Jimmy.
So Nancy Pelosi pulled a little stunt in the House where she did a filibuster, even though you can't do a filibuster in the House. She spoke for 8 hours in heels. And that's of course, the story, not actually what happened or what she's talking about. But here's a little bit from ABC local news. They said this about it.
And to be true to our values is to respect the aspirations of people who are our future. Our young people are our future, and these dreamers are part of that.
And unfortunately, we're not willing to actually stand up for our future. We're willing to do a pretend stand up and then roll over to Trump. We'll even help fund a wall for him and stuff. Whatever. Our donors don't want us to shut down government. Shh. So that's why I have to do stunts like this to make it look like I really give a crap, even though our donors don't want us to shut down. We could get this done. We could get DACA done. We just have to not fund the government, not go along with this. But am I wrong about this, Ron?
No, this is just a publicity stunt. And Nancy Pelosi, she knows which state she's in. She's in California, know, a state that has a lot of folks affected by this, and so she's just trying to make herself look good. She even admitted herself that it's a good deal, quote unquote, in her opinion.
So just so you know, that was a stunt. If she really felt that way and wanted to make a stand for the Dreamers, she would be pushing other people to vote against it, the budget agreement, and she would be screaming about the Senate going along with Trump. Okay, so before we get to all that, I want to show you what my favorite part of the filibuster was. This is Representative Matsui, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, from California, and let's watch her try to keep her eyes open. So she's going to doze. I have a feeling she's going to doze off. Right. Ooh, she's going, and she's gone. And she's out.
Back.
Wait for it. Wait. Hey, she turns around. Wake up.
She just
and she wakes up.
Yeah.
She turns around. What do you do? Wake up. You see that? All right. So and then I have one more. She's going to do it again. Here we go. Should I listen to the audio or just watch her do it? I think just watch her do it without the audio. Because she's getting heavy-eyed again. She's getting, she's starting to.
No, she's thinking about Dreamland.
She keeps saying dreamers, and I just keep getting I'm getting sleepy. I'm getting sleepy. Oh, the dream. Getting sleep. I'm dreaming of a time when Democrats stood up for something. She is out. Look at that. That's hilarious.
Yep, there it goes.
Back. Okay. So now here's where we are. Now, this is the headline from the Huffington Post. We're about to find out whether House Democrats mean what they say on DACA. With the Senate expected to easily pass a bipartisan spending deal and House Republicans generally falling in line, the big question on Thursday, just hours before a government shutdown, has become House Democrats.
And to just be literal here, as of the recording of this, we're talking about midnight Eastern time, Thursday.
Thursday,
Yeah.
the 8th.
Yeah, well, I guess technically Friday, but yeah.
Friday?
It would technically be Friday because
At
midnight.
12 a.m.?
Yeah, midnight is the next day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a little itty-bitty confusing.
I fucked that
I know. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, because 12 a.m. it'd be Friday.
Right.
11:59 p.m. is Thursday.
Yeah,
12 a.m. is Friday.
It's Friday.
Okay. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi was coy Thursday morning, telling reporters that she personally wouldn't support the bill, but that she still felt it was a good deal for Democrats.
Hence our theater commentary.
So that's why we said this was theater. There she is, 8 hours standing there, and then she says, man, it's a good deal for Democrats, which means it's okay if you all vote for it. I don't really feel that strongly about it. I had to do a little theater so I could get reelected back in California. That's what that was, right, Ron?
When I was in college, I went to a lot of Iraq war protests, and I don't think I ever stayed for 8 hours. I don't think any of them quite lasted that long, but I stayed for a couple hours, and never was anybody there like, hey, I actually think it's an okay war. It's important. I actually think the war's okay. So yes, it's theater what she did.
going to an Iraq war protest because I'm against the Iraq war. But I think it's a good deal for America, the Iraq war. So if it happens, it's a good deal.
Exactly.
That's a tough stance. Tough stance. She said she did it she's telling people why she's voting the way she did. But a couple hours later, after Speaker Paul Ryan once again refused to give Pelosi the assurances that she demanded for an open process on an immigration bill, Democrats seemed to change their mind about not whipping against the spending deal. So now they are whipping against the spending deal in the House. That's unlike in the Senate, there is no agreement that the House will even consider legislation to protect Dreamers. By leaving this vital issue unresolved, this package leaves Dreamers isolated without a path to resolution in the House, said a Democratic whip. So, because they got a promise from Mitch McConnell, that's why the senators went along, and Paul Ryan wouldn't even give them a promise? Why not just give them the promise, Paul? Pass it and then renege on your promise, like McConnell's going to do. Anyway, so now, just because leaders are urging a no vote, however, doesn't mean Nancy Pelosi said she wasn't urging a no vote. As if we're going to air, she said she's not going to tell people to vote one way or the other, and that's just how she's going to vote, which means she's a.
And they might whip or they might not, and there might not be consequences.
However, that doesn't just because leaders are urging a no vote, however, doesn't mean they're truly pushing Democrats to vote down the spending bill. Well, how can you urge someone to vote it down but don't push them to vote it down?
Exactly.
It's this again, it sounds BS-y, right? One senior Democratic aide said Pelosi's tepid opposition has been signal enough for some Democrats that even with the whip notice, there will be no repercussions for voting yes on the bill. So Pelosi's tepid opposition. So that 8-hour stance or whatever she did is being described by the HuffPo as tepid opposition. So that was just theater because she's not really.
Yeah. It was just theater, and you know what? I got to say this. I really wish the media was so good at reporting the number of years residents of Flint have gone without clean drinking water as they are reporting the number of hours a millionaire stood in a pair of heels. I really wish that. I'm sorry.
Isn't she 100 millionaire too, Nancy Pelosi? I think so.
Yeah.
I think her and her husband are super rich, like that kind of a 1% rich kind of rich.
Yeah. Can afford a lot of foot massages. All right.
We still know the bill is good for Democrats, the aide said. That's a Democratic aide. And let me tell you what the bill, it increases military spending. Are you ready for this? How much does it increase military spending, Ron?
It increases it by $160 billion, bringing the total number to $700 billion in 2018 and $716 billion in 2019.
That's fantastic. $160 billion pulled out of nowhere, no debate about it. The Democrats didn't push back against it. There were no op-eds about it, no town halls, no nothing. Hey, how much more should we spend or how much should we be cutting back? No discussion. None. $160 billion like that. So when jagoffs tell you that you can't have free college or free health care or free, you tell them to go pound sand because you see through their bullshit, okay? Because I see through their bullshit, and all you got to do is say, they just gave $160 billion to the Pentagon at a snap of the fingers. We could wipe out student debt. We could send everybody to college for free. We could do whatever we want. We're the richest country the face of the earth has ever seen. And anybody tells you we can't have nice stuff like the rest of the world are lying. Either they're as dumb could be, and they soak up propaganda by the gallon, or they're lying.
You know what I love to tell people, Jimmy? I love to say it's kind of like, do you ever have like a deadbeat roommate or something like that where they never had rent money on time, they never had money for bills and stuff like that, but they always had money for pot.
Beer. Or pot.
Beer,
yeah.
Whichever one. That's like how our country is when we always got bond money, bro.
That's right.
That's how we are when it comes to defense.
That's exactly what it is. You're right. It's like, I don't have any rent money, but I got my weed money. I don't have any money for college, but we got our bond money.
We're saying the government's a shitty roommate.
Just like that. Just like that. So anybody tells you what Bernie Sanders just wants what the rest of the world takes for granted. For granted.
Yeah.
So that's how screwed up things are in America. That's how screwed up your media is, which is why we have a show. Which is why they're trying to kill shows like this. Which is really happening. Again, we told you we used to sign up 1,000 people a day on our show, and now they unsubscribe, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 people a day. We don't know. They don't tell us. All we know is the people who tell us that they're unsubscribed. So please make sure you're still subscribed. And if you can come our live show February 24th in San Diego and March 25th in Austin, Texas, if you can become a patron, now is the time to support independent media, especially an independent show that isn't pushing McCarthyism, the Red Scare, and is telling you the truth about what's really happening inside the Democratic Party and in our foreign policy. Thanks for your support.